Area 51 Sports is here for you. All the top quality equipment you'll need to succeed on and off the field. All to make sure you're prepared for game day. Area 51 Sports, the sports industry's best kept secret. Visit area51sports.ca today.
Welcome inside of Richardson Stadium here at in the beautiful city of Kingston, Ontario, I should say. And what a nice day it is for some Sunday football as we head into this U14 game to kick off one of 3 games today. I'm Caitlin Pobersnick alongside Jesse Bell and the rest of the crew here. Jesse, we had one game last night. It was a nice precursor to what should be a really fun weekend of football. Anything that you're looking forward to as we head into kickoff?
Hopefully an offensive touchdown. We've still yet to see an offense put points on the board here at RedBlack weekend, beautiful Richardson Memorial Stadium. Last night was all about the defense, Caitlin. Multiple interceptions, 2 pick sixes powering Team Great Lakes to a shutout victory.
Absolutely, yes. This is the All-Star RedBlack weekend. All our teams going to be either in red or blacks. So right now, reds will be going from left to right, blacks from right to left, I should say. So that'll be on your screen. A nice 35-yarder set up to start.
And it's Gavin Roberts in at quarterback for Team Red. And that is a handoff on first down and a great line along the right-hand side. Great run there from number 22, the stiff arm, and almost into existence.
Almost.
Caitlin. Knocked out of bounds, but that was Dante Galvin.
Oh my gosh, to start us off already, the tiptoe on the sideline almost had him after that stiff arm, but he ended up pushing himself out of bounds.
And a great job there by the offensive line to create the hole for Govine. And he just made the right play. At 14, being able to read the blocks like that and just do what you need to do. He went a lot more north-south than some of the young men we saw last night, and that is why he picked up a huge gain and a fresh set of downs for Team Red. And on first and 10, another handoff to number 22, Dante Govine. And he's going to push forward for a gain of about 5 or so, Caitlin, although a little bit of ball security issues at the end there.
Yes, tried to reach forward, lost that too, but luckily he was down before anything happened for that too. But even talking about being able to find those gaps and being able to run, these players are a little bit smaller too than the other players that we're going to be seeing today. So this is a very large field for the scale of sized players. So the gaps are going to be there for that run game that you're going to see a lot of, and not necessarily the throw game for the younger players.
And that's a great point, Caitlin. And I think speaking on the width of the field, if we do see passing, I expect a lot of it to be quick hitters along the wider side. But we're going to get another handoff to Govine up the middle, cutting it forward for a first down. Number 22 in red. Here's a bit of a throwback for you. Looking like number 22 circa 2023, Anthony Souls. One of the great players here for the Queens Gales. That was a very Anthony Souls-like run. North-south, no nonsense. Pick up a first down.
Yeah, and we're moving the field actually quite well too. Last night was a little bit of a slower first half into a very quick and better second half, I'd say. But right now we're actually moving downfield at a good pace.
Yeah, we're not trapped in the neutral zone here. We're going to get a first and 10 inside the 25. Quick little jump pass there from number 7, Gavin Roberts, incomplete. Caitlin, going back to that point about the size of the field, I think another really important aspect at this age range, speed is king.
Yes.
As we've seen with Dante Galvin, your fast players are the ones that are going to cause headaches because you aren't going to be as polished, you aren't going to be as physically developed. Usually the first thing kids get, that go ability, that speed. So I expect that to play a role today as well.
Yeah, kids want to run.
They do. And for their parents' sake, I hope we get lots of running in here today. Second down pass from Gavin Roberts. Complete to Griffin Scott, the Kingston Grenadier, fighting forward for a good gain there on second down. And we saw this pregame. We're not expecting much of a kicking game here.
No.
So what do you think, third and medium? What do you think we're going to go with? Looks like an offense.
Yeah, they're staying on. That's all right. I don't think that's a bad choice either. At least now, if you're going to get a turnover, let's at least try to get a touchdown out of it. And again, you want to impress today, but again, this is a good opportunity to just try some stuff as well. And when your kicking game isn't as strong, you at least want to risk maybe getting a couple points on, but taken down.
Oh, great tackle there from the U14 Black squad. That was number 55, Jackson David, with a turnover-generating tackle. Good form tackle. I love seeing that at this level.
Absolutely.
And that will be a turnover for Team Red. So we're going to get the first chance to see this Team Black offense, but they're going to be starting inside or right at inside their 25. So this will start exactly from the 20-yard line.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do here to get it out of their own zone. But again, if you can break through any sort of defensive play here, you have the entire field to just run. So if you can break through in any sense, just outrun the other team and you're good.
And let's see what they will do here on first and 10. I expect we will indeed see a handoff along the right-hand side. But that is stopped up for very little forward progress. So we are going to have a second and long. And unlike with Team Red, who had the benefit of driving down the field first, if Team Black is faced with a 3rd and long in their own territory, you don't really know what the punting game is going to look like.
Yeah, and the snaps right now, too, from these age ranges are a little bit messy, and I feel like it's such an underrated position that you don't really hear a whole lot of people talking about, but if you can get a good snap right hard into the pocket, and the quarterback doesn't have to do anything other than just focus on the ball and being able to go and throw it or do the handoff of whatever kind, that's very impressive. But right now, again, it's you're seeing it go up a little bit too high, and it's taking a couple seconds off of what that quarterback's plan was.
It's a great point, Caitlin, and we do get a better snap here on 2nd down. We get a jet sweep handoff, cutting it back up the middle, and that is going to be close to 1st down distance. And we will try to get numbers for you folks when they come a bit more in view. Our angle here with the sun makes it a little trickier, but they will pick up a 1st down, and it looks like for Team Black, that is Jorge Luis Correa-Reyes as the primary tailback there.
And even his stutter step to try and avoid that first hit. It's very impressive to see, and being able to read that you need to stop and slow down a little bit and shift your pace.
100%. It's, once again, speed is king, but if you do have that level of footwork developed at this age, it makes a huge difference. As we will get a handoff on 1st and 10. And speaking of speed and agility, we saw a great deal of it from number 23, Asher Bradley. Should have been taken down in the backfield for a loss, but I don't know how, Caitlin, he managed to wiggle his way forward for a gain of about 3.
And then got swarmed with about 5 people tackling him out.
And that is something we talked about last night. You really want to see that as a defensive coordinator. Gang tackling, multiple red sweaters swarming on that black jersey. That is the name of the game. The best defenses are the ones that will swarm and attack. So 2nd and about 7 or so from just shy of the Team Black 35. And it feels like a passing situation. High snap corralled and knocked down. Number 30 for Team Red, that's Hudson Dope, knocks that ball away, and that sets up a 3rd and very long.
And that was something that we had talked about yesterday too, was size of the quarterbacks. Right now they're a little bit on the smaller side, so anybody who's able to get their hands up, that immediate eye line is going to be taken away. It's very, very easy to guard maybe some of those smaller quarterbacks, and you get the bigger guys when you get into more of that professional setting, but when you're at this point in the league, you don't really get a whole lot of say on the sizing of your quarterbacks.
It's true, and smaller passing windows, less ground to cover. Decent little punt is corralled by 21 Red. That is Harrison Anchor, and Harrison Anchor is breaking left. He needs a few blocks to make this happen. He cuts in, cuts back.
No
Harrison
way!
Anchor!
Oh my gosh!
On the board. What a scintillating special teams play from number 21. Sorry, folks, that was Tamaron Wallace. 21 Red, Tamaron Wallace taking that one all the way back for the first points of the game, Caitlin. We didn't see special teams last night.
No, we didn't.
But we saw it here today.
And that was after a nice kick as well. That had nothing to do. That was a nice length kick for this size group, and managed to take the outside far field, going to the sideline and cutting back in. Nice blocking too. No penalties on the play, which is especially important here. And we'll see if we get a kick. Hey!
Okay. Special teams, the oft underrated 3rd aspect of the game, puts the first non-defensive points of the weekend on the board here for RedBlack weekend. And that's a great point about the blocks, Caitlin. We talked about it on the call itself. He was going to need a little bit of help to slip through that Team Black coverage unit, and just some outstanding, clean blocks to set up a fantastic touchdown for Tamaron Wallace for Team Red.
Incredible. And special teams too can win or lose you games, and it's a nice, I mean, it is special. It can come in and it can help you guys out if you need something, especially if you can do it well. And to have a group already that is showing their dominance in that special teams area for Team Red, I feel like I'm excited to see them have other opportunities here tonight, because I don't think that was a fluke play. I think that they genuinely just know what they're doing.
And with U14, it's really hard to angle your punts away from a returner, so they're going to have to keep a closer eye on Tamaron Wallace for Team Red. And we've got a handoff here from Team Black. This is number 23, Black. That is Asher Bradley with a great game, but is there a flag down, Caitlin?
There is a flag on play.
Whereabouts have we got it? Oh, it looks like towards the point of contact. So it's either a hold on one of the primary lead blockers or, yeah, and it looks like it's exactly that. So Asher Bradley's good carry on first down is all for naught. And we are going to have a first and I'll see if it's first and 20. It depends on where the spot was. But we're going to have a first and, let's say, inadvantageous for Team Black regardless.
Oh, taking it all the way back.
Yeah, I'm curious if it was a spot or, okay, no, it is the full 10. So this is going to be a first and 20. Sometimes with these runs where the flag isn't directly in the backfield, it's taken from the run. This one, not the case. So dire territory here, especially you don't want to face down another 3rd and long knowing Tamarin Wallace is lurking in the special teams backfield. So here we go, quick hitter.
Nice little pass out to the right.
Good adjustment by the wide receiver, but not much you could do on that one, Kate.
No. Stroh did not lead him to be able to continue that forward momentum, but nice to see that he caught it regardless. That was a tough throw, so even to put a little badge on his jersey, he made it a completion, so still impressive regardless.
Yeah, a great concentration catch from the receiver there. That throw is going to come with time and age. It's a tough position. Center, we talked about how hard it is to snap the ball, but obviously quarterback, it's a high pressure, high risk
couldn't
position.
imagine.
It was not, I'm not cut out for that, so
No.
We won't be too harsh on these young men, especially in this U14 game, but we do have a second and very long here for Team Black. Jet sweep handoff, read well by Team Red and swallowed up in the backfield.
Taken down.
Looks like another loss of yards, so this is going to be 3rd and about 27.
Yeah, Team Red, I think, is very much so taking over this first quarter as they start to move around.
And no Tamarin Wallace on for this one, so Team Black doesn't have to worry about number 21 in red returning another one, but we do have number 22, which I believe could be either Dante Galvin or Hunter Watchhorn. We do have some doubled up numbers, but I believe that is Dante Galvin.
Almost a block.
Good job by the punter there to get that one off. Takes a friendly Richardson Stadium bounce. Unfortunately, it's going to be no yards. It didn't touch the returner. It bounced in front of him into the hands of the special teams player.
I don't think anybody on Black.
It's the right play to make because you can't tell in that split second if it bounced off a foot or if it bounced off the
ground.
No,
you have to take it. You have to take it.
Absolutely the right play to make there by Team Black, but yeah. Oh, wow. It is a touchdown. So he must have been onside then. He recovered it on the bounce and took it in. The penalty was on Team Red. So that is a special teams touchdown.
That is.
There we go, folks. My mistake. I saw the flag down.
Well, I feel like that was a fair assumption to make as well, seeing as the flag was thrown as soon as the ball was taken by Team Black. So.
But that goes to show the other point. Never give up on a play.
Never give up on a play. And I think that goes for anybody. If you're going to do something that you aren't sure of, do it at 100%. You can't kind of think, maybe should I kind of grab the ball and take it. If you're not supposed to, they'll let you know afterward. But in this case, you get 6 points because of it.
And we'll see. And they do indeed tack on a 7th. So, Caitlin, we do have scoring, but we are still waiting on an offense to cross the goal line. It's been special teams and defense so far this weekend.
Yes, I would like to see us move and just have some, take up the clock, use the time, get a lot of plays going, and, actually move up the field to then get an offensive touchdown here. But regardless, you're getting points on the board.
That's right.
You're getting points on the board, and I feel like if you're either of the coaches for either of these teams, you're happy with the points regardless of how you're getting them right now. Although seeing some offensive possessions to get things going is always fun to see if you're a spectator.
100%. And as they always say, it's not how, it's how many. And right now, we have 7 apiece here at the U14 Red-Black game, the first of 3 here today, and that is a bad snap. And credit to the quarterback. That was a bit of a mess from the start. Gavin Roberts just tried to get that ball anywhere out of the pocket, but they are going to rule it as a sack, and understandably so.
Even saying that, he's a lefty. So this is also a different style of quarterback than you might be used to watching a right-handed. This is different formations. This is different footwork. This is different hip movements to be able to throw with the left hand too. So.
And it's tough for receivers because you usually get right-handed quarterbacks, so everything is done a little bit in reverse for the skill position players. Dropping back to pass here, great completion, and what a hit from number 27, Kieran Hickey, for the U14 Black squad. Caitlin, what a fantastic.
That was an amazing hit. Didn't even let him take it down for a second. Didn't get him to, didn't let him turn after the catch. It was an immediate drop. And no extra yardage after the completion, so.
A good hard tackle, and it wasn't necessarily a wrap tackle, but he hit him in the exact right way, and it's one of those things, anytime you catch a pass over the middle, colloquially referred to as a death ball.
Without a doubt.
I always loved when I saw a receiver get a pass over the middle playing defense, and I'm sure that's the case here for Kieran Hickey as well. You kind of salivate, you lick your chops when you get a chance like that. And a high punt. Caught and dropped, but recovered by Team Black. And credit to, and he's pulling double duty here, Gavin Roberts, for even getting that one off with how aggressive that rush was.
Yeah, and flag on the play as well here.
I'm imagining this is no yards, but we will find out momentarily. And thank you, fine folks, for tuning in here today. As a reminder, we've got count them, 3 youth football games over the next 8 hours or so.
Yes.
And Caitlin, if I understand correctly, we're going to have a special guest joining us for the second and third games.
Yeah, so right after this, 12:30, whenever this one's done, we get a half-hour break. But then it's the U16 game at that point, and at 3 p.m., it's the U18 game. And Steve Schneider, head coach for the Queens Gales football team, is going to be in. He's going to be doing some commentary and just inputs for the U16 game, but then coming in and doing some color action for that U18 game later on this afternoon. Supposed to start to get a little cloudy, maybe some rain in the afternoon, but this morning's game is still gorgeous outside as we have a big play here.
And that is number 23, Asher Bradley. That looked like a bit of a halfback draw play, Caitlin, with the quarterback making it look and feel like he's going to throw a pass, and Bradley just taking it up the middle for a gain of about 4 yards there.
And it's nice seeing that kick. That punt wasn't the furthest punt that we've ever seen, so we're still in this half of the field, giving Team Black an actual opportunity to maybe get something going here with their offense and add some big points to the board from that offensive possessions and not that special teams action.
And it's so tough at this age, kicking and punting in general. There is a specialist coach, one of the forerunners of coaching kicking, Ken Andreas, who is probably tuned in today, Kingston local. As we've got a jet sweep. What a great defensive play there from Team Red. And we're going to see another 3rd and long situation, Caitlin. And this is, I think, probably you're going to go for this on offense with your positioning on the field here.
You want to try it. And even talking about the punting and the kicking and that type of thing, not necessarily the strong suit, although we do have some switches happening right now, so we'll see. But even when you get to that professional level, a lot of the kickers and stuff you talk to, they've played rugby, they've played soccer. They're not necessarily actually football players. I know a lot in the CFL, they've recruited rugby players to come and kick for them because that's kind of a rugby player's specialty too. It's everybody knows how to kick. So you see these guys, they're going to have to start talking to some soccer players and rugby players too.
One of the best kickers from my high school, good old Garnet Peters, was a soccer player as well. It's definitely a transferable skill set. And that is a nice low-angle punt. And this is Tamarin Wallace. He got loose last time. Can he do it again? Spins off contact up the middle, but that is a fantastic tackle by Team Black. Tamarin Wallace very nearly electrified Richardson again, but it looks like that tackle was made by, I believe, Colson Sock, number 20 for Team Black.
What a player being able to run like that.
That's the thing. Tamarin Wallace, he's listed as a defensive back, but my goodness, does he have some offensive potential as well. with loose hips like that could make for a great slot receiver in the future. And that's the thing with these U14 kids is where they're playing now may not necessarily where they end up in 2 or 4 years' time.
No, and they're going to grow some more as well, so you're going to see different positionings coming from that.
Great move by Dante Galvin down the sidelines. He's got a few men left in front of him. He maintains through the contact, and that is a great gain for number 22 for Team Red, Dante Galvin. There we go. We saw that to start this first quarter. Dante Galvin going down the right side. This time takes a pass and goes left for a great gain. We've got 36.5 seconds to go here in our first quarter of football action.
And a very good first quarter as well, actually.
Very entertaining. I think as the day goes on, we're going to get even higher levels of polish, and we've got some really fantastic football in store throughout the rest of the day today as well. Another handoff to Galvin up the middle, following his blocker.
Wow.
Great job there by
What a great play. I mean, you saw him put his hand on the blocker in front. That's exactly what you want to see. And you kind of let him lead you, and then you can break off of that. But that was a great play. I know there. And even when at Steve Schneider's meeting, he replayed that and replayed that and replayed that on the TV every single time. He's like, did you see that? Did you see that? This is what happened.
Do have a flag down, though, so they are going to – and it's a 5-yard penalty. And I'll tell you, when I played offensive line, because I played guard and I played defensive tackle. When I played guard, I always hated it when my running back would put his hand on my back because he pushed me into someone. I was like, I get it. I appreciate the thought, but could you maybe
sacrificial.
not shove me?
It's sacrificial. Sometimes you just got to do it. Taken to the wolves.
It's like, could you let me do it myself at least?
Let me throw it.
So here we go. We've got a 1st and 15. Gavin Roberts under pressure, rolling back left, but he is going to be taken down at the 50-yard line. And Caitlin, as we reach the end of the first quarter, I think it might be a good time to pay some bills, so to speak.
Yes, it is the paper time. So we do have some partners here this weekend helping put this on for us. And CFL being one of them, the Canadian Football League has made a 5-year commitment to grow football right across this country, partnering with Football Ontario and all 10 provincial sport organizations to build stronger pathways for athletes at every level, from community fields to the Olympic stage in Los Angeles in 2028. The CFL is all in on the future of the game. Visit cfl.ca for any more information. And again, that was only the first quarter here. We still got 3 more, but it felt like almost that was 2 quarters combined, in my opinion. We're finishing this one off going. There's a lot of action that's happened here so far. And of course, it's nice in the morning you get it off. You don't have to wait till the afternoon to play some football. You can do it right here and probably during the nicest part of the day as well. So anything that you saw in that first quarter that you're like, you know what, we're set up for a really good game here.
I always love, that's something I miss about youth football. I love those, especially Saturday morning games. Today we've got a Sunday morning, but the weather is nice, the sun is high, you have the rest of your day to do as you please. Second and about 25 here. We do have a flag down, but this is a near miss. And that was Adrian Galloway, a new quarterback in for U14 Red. But we do have a flag down that is being declined by Team Black. So we will get a punt situation at 3rd and very long.
He was open, though, and that's what he's frustrated about. You could see him hit the ground. And with a little bit of extra frustration, had he taken one more step, but he almost planted his foot and fell. So that would have been a really good opportunity for them, even just to see a completed pass-throw play here, regardless of what the flag would have been in that situation.
And it's good for your confidence, even if it doesn't count. It was Jackson Lewis just couldn't quite get his footing under him, and it's tough when you play on turf. It's different from what I'm guessing many of these young men are used to, which is more of your traditional grass field. You don't get quite the same amount of purchase on turf, but turf also lets you run faster, so it's a trade-off.
Yeah, I have some love-hate relationships with turf, depending on what type of turf you're playing on, of course.
That's true, and admittedly, this is the best kind of turf you're going to find in Canada, but still, the difference is the difference.
Yes.
That punt leaks through, fielded by number 82 for Team Black, and taken down in the open field. Great job by number 80 in the red jersey. That's actually a wide receiver, Caitlin. That's Landon Watt with the tackle there. paying his dues on special teams.
Interesting. And we're talking about quarterbacks and how we have some new ones. So there's 90 players total between these two teams, 90 of the best U14 players that you're going to find in the province. Those are split 45-45, but then you're going to get 4 quarterbacks on each team, obviously 4 quarters. So you're probably going to be able to see those quarterback rotations throughout this game, and there will be new ones filtering in throughout this. So
yeah, with the 4 quarterbacks, I believe it's 2 per team, and it's 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter, 1 quarter. So I think we should have, and we do, so this should be Croy Holloway in for Team Black here. Or, no, sorry, my mistake. That's still Xavier Beaudry, and he has a completion along the left-hand side. Good gain on first down.
Yeah, and I will also say some of the rosters that we've gotten, I was having to look online to try and find stuff as well, so it is one of those situations where, you know, we if you know more than we do, then I do apologize if we've made any subjective errors.
We're getting there.
We are getting there.
370-something names to go through over the course of the weekend. So thank you for bearing with us, folks. And for my normal Gales listeners, you know it's easier for me to memorize 50 Gales players than it is 400 U14 to 18 players. So we've got, oh man, it's a process.
Very impressive if we could remember all of the names.
We have got a stop there on second and short, bringing up a third and about 4 or so, as it's been all about field positioning. It's been all about special teams, and because you know that neither team is likely going to be punting this very deep, it really comes down to the coverage teams to tighten up. And, well, we've had a touchdown each side, so hopefully tighten up and limit any kind of big explosive return.
Yeah, and that's the way you're really going to be able to get out of these areas, too, is if you have anybody that's able to run the ball for you to get out. So I feel like we're going to end up getting stuck in these areas, too. And we've had some breakaway plays, but they've all been called back from some sort of flag. So that's the unfortunate part. You have these guys who are able to get upfield but can't. It gets called back.
And we do have an onside. Okay, so on the far side of the feed there, Team Black did once again roll with another onside punt coverage guy, meaning if that ball is not fielded by a returner, he can just grab it, which is what the first touchdown of the game was.
Yes.
So that's something we'll keep an eye on moving forward in this broadcast, and that's something for you fine folks at home to keep an eye on as well. As if you see somebody on punt coverage that is lined up behind where the punter is, that is a player that is eligible to grab the ball as soon as it leaves that punter's foot. And we saw it earlier, and it's very possible, given the U14s and the level of polish that is still in development, that we see it again. So
yeah, and you talk about development so much, and this is kind of what the weekend is totally about, is that development aspect for these players. Because these U14s, they aren't getting scouted here today. It's just about that opportunity to play.
Exactly. Great handoff up the middle. Number 22 in red. That is Dante Galvin again. He has been the primary yardage gainer for Team Red here today, and he has consistently gotten his offense in striking distance so far, Caitlin.
Yeah, the fact, I mean, we just hit that first down mark, and that's something that we haven't necessarily seen even yesterday, is being able to get those markers to move. So any impressive plays here just to end up moving us down the field is a good step too, and especially when you're seeing these players thrive a little bit today. We have a couple of really key players that have been doing dirty work.
And that is a quarterback keeper, a zone read by Adrian Galloway, and Adrian Galloway galloping into the Team Black red zone. Great little option run there. He let the defensive ends crash down on his tailback, which was Bennett Pistor, and Galloway just kept it himself, followed his blockers, and, well, that's an added layer we're going to have to keep an eye on with Adrian Galloway.
And even now, this is a really good opportunity to see if the offense can actually complete this nice drive that they've been doing. That now we're getting into the dirty zone, too, where this is a really good chance for them to show that they're able to complete and actually finish the job.
Speed doesn't matter quite as much when you're in this close. It's going to be precision and power once you get within the 15-yard line, because for as wide as the field is, it shortens up quite a bit once you're in that red zone situation. And Galloway, good-looking ball, just not quite the timing needed to make that work.
No, and not read, I think, well. We had 2 red players running past each other, and then the ball goes right through the middle of both of them. So maybe some miscommunication on the play call, too, though, of who was supposed to be where.
And plays like that are really effective either against man coverage, where you're trying to get your 2 receivers to basically smash the defensive backs into one another, or in a zone where they sink out to either side and give you the middle. So I like the idea in theory, but as you mentioned, yeah, just the execution, not quite there.
Not quite there. Timeout. Makes sense to take a timeout right now. You want to try and get your offense settled down. And timeout means let's read another partner that we have here today, Buffalo Bills. A huge shout out to the partners. Buffalo Bills, a proud community partner of Football Ontario and a franchise investing in the future of the game right here in Ontario. Visit buffalobills.com for more information. Obviously, right across the border, you get a lot of people from Canada going down to Buffalo Bills games, Buffalo hockey games, whatever the case may be, and obviously a very nice football city too. So,
have the Sabres clinched yet? I know they've got Boston on. Yeah, they did. They eliminated Boston the other night, I believe. The Sabres. So they'll be playing in the next round of the NHL playoffs for our Buffalo fans in the chat. Handoff to Bennett Pastore. And tackled up by, looks like that's number 5 for Team Black. That's Enzo Silveira, the linebacker. And yeah, Buffalo, great sports town. One of my best friends is a diehard Bills fan, which means he's lived a life full of suffering, unfortunately.
Don't know how that's even possible with the roster that they have right now, but
they're letting him down. Poor Josh Allen. But hey, you never know. Canadian football development especially has been it's been accelerated really over the last decade.
It has been.
There's a decent chance that some of the young men we see play here today, either 14, 16, or 18, could very well see their name in lights in the NFL sometime in the near future. I mean, we talked about Akeem Mesidor getting drafted by the Chargers. Anything is possible. And on third and goal.
Dang, so close.
Adrian Galloway looking for the Kingston Grenadier Griffin Scott. I like the ball. I like the overall throw.
I do too.
I think it's just a timing thing.
It is the timing thing. It's also not, a lot of these players are turning to look up and the ball goes right over their head. So it's like almost, is it the pass or is it did we stop running? Because sometimes you've got to keep running and don't slow up. So it's just that communication that comes from, like you said, that receiver and quarterback action.
And something we didn't have to deal with last night. The sun is high today.
Absolutely.
And it's in the direction of where Griffin Scott was looking. So a lot to complete with. Great coverage, a good throw, and then maybe a combination of timing and weather conditions.
It is too, because the thing about this is that the quarterback isn't throwing into the sun, so it's good for the quarterback, but your receivers are turning and facing the sun. So it's kind of which one would you rather be looking into the sun, your receiver or your quarterback?
And on 1st and 10, the Team Black quarterback Xavier Beaudry, well, he was looking at a whole bunch of red jerseys, and I don't think he was too excited by what he saw there, Caitlin.
No,
taking
sea of
the
red.
sack. Yeah, you never want to see a red sea here at Richardson Stadium. Something's gone horribly wrong, regardless of the situation that you're in. And now Team Black, they're in a pretty miserable situation, facing 2nd and 16 inside their 5. And remember, folks, the punting game isn't as much of a factor here today. So if Team Red is able to hold their ground, they could either get a conceded safety or possibly be looking at some really fantastic starting field position. And it is going to be a pass. Beaudry sends a man in motion, but he hands it off instead. Good call up the middle. Number 29 in Team Black. That is Jorge Luis Color Reyes with a great gain there on 2nd and long, but not enough for a first down.
No, but you look at that play and you realize it's like he knew to not stop running. So even though he was tippy-toeing a little bit around some of those hits and being able to dodge them, he didn't stop. So it's like that initial contact didn't prohibit him from continuing to run, which is what you want to see from people holding the ball, is just to continue to drive their feet in and continue to go forward and not let that person take them down.
And it's a great point. One of the big things you look for at any level is footwork. Whether it's offensive linemen, whether it's running backs, are you able to keep your feet moving even when you are in a static position?
Yes. Absolutely. Another timeout.
Yep, this one taken by Team Black, understandably so, as when we get back to action, it'll be about 3rd and 4 here at RedBlack weekend. And of course, thank you to everybody involved with organizing something as spectacular as this. I think it's a pretty exciting weekend of football action.
Oh gosh, the paper is back. I gotta read another one. Which one are we going with now? BioSteel. How about BioSteel?
I do actually love BioSteel.
So we'll read this one for you. BioSteel is one of Canada's most trusted names in sports hydrations, and they're proud to support Football Ontario and the athletes representing this province at RedBlack weekend. From ID camps to provincial championships, BioSteel is on the sidelines all season long. Pick up some BioSteel at biosteel.ca. So lots of good sponsors here. Obviously, can't run these weekends without the help of other franchises and brands and stuff like that, because these do cost. And so it is nice to have that supports here. Even seeing the tents, I mean, as a football fan, even seeing the Detroit Lions signs down there too, it's like it is pretty cool just to be a part of. You know, you watch them every single fall, and being able to be a part of something like this is pretty cool.
And we have got a 3rd and 4, and Team Black is going to go for it. Let's see what they dream up here. Quick pass to the running back, breaking left. He will pick up a first down and then some. The question is, can he pick up more? And that is a great gain for Asher Bradley on a simple pass and catch. And I think that's the important thing this weekend, especially in the U14 game, Caitlin. Keep it simple, and look what happens.
Yeah, and like we've been saying, that punt game isn't necessarily the strongest, so having players that are able to help get it out of the zone for you. I mean, we've been seeing a lot with those running plays, and when these players get open, and they just continue to run.
And Asher Bradley with a great one there, giving his team new life. It'll be 1st and 10, just shy of the 35. Another handoff to Asher Bradley up the middle. Asher Bradley following his blocks, dropping the shoulder, keeping those legs pumping. And he is taken down at the 50-yard line of Team Black. What a fantastic job there from Asher Bradley.
I know, and this game, again, like I said, they're not getting scouted necessarily, but then you see players like that, and you're like, my gosh, if only they were. These are some players that you want to be watching the next few years to see where they end up.
And the great thing is, even if they're not necessarily being scouted, they are getting great tape.
Oh, yeah.
Which, even if it's not going to scouts, they themselves can work with that tape, watch, take notes on what they did well, and more importantly, what they can improve. And we've got another Asher Bradley handoff, and he runs through what was a great form tackle from Blake Alves, but just a really good second effort from Asher Bradley to keep the legs churning through, a really nice, wrap waist tackle.
Yeah. And even the confidence that some of these players have already in being able to carry the ball and trust where their body is, because a lot of people at this age don't even know their right and left feet. I still don't, and I'm almost 25. So this is really impressive to see that people are actually able to run the ball like that. And a nice takedown.
Beautiful play there from, I believe that is big number 99, and I love this name, Everett Inksetter Martin. Not just an ink setter, setting the edge and taking down the Team Black tailback. And we have got another 3rd and short situation. And if Team Red is able to stop this here with 3 minutes to go in our second quarter, they've got a chance to take some pretty valuable momentum into halftime.
I do too, and I want to say that this quarter feels shorter than the first one. I feel like there's been a lot of turnover, and it's just this one isn't as stopping and starting as the first.
Fewer penalties so far in the second, and that is a quarterback sneak on 3rd and short, and I believe they will pick it up. And that's the thing. That's what I love about football is, yes, there's obviously a lot of stop and start, but when you get a quarter like this that is all action events and is played cleanly, oh my goodness, it just blazes by.
Yeah, and that goes for any sport, I think. When you get a lot of flags, fouls, whatever the penalties, it makes the game a lot slower and your momentum stops. It's basically timeouts that you didn't ask for that are stopping the game.
Exactly.
And as maybe a team that's feeling that momentum in their direction, flags, penalties, fouls, whatever it may be in whatever sport, it completely shifts the way the game is played.
So here we go. Handoff on a slot sweep, and we are getting some great blocks here. That is number 29 for Team Black, and there's no turning back. Jorge Luis Coror Reyes runs it all the way in, and we have our first offensive touchdown of Red Black week, and it comes courtesy of Team Black, number 29, reminding me of a Queens number 29, Jared Kasari hitting that second gear and saying, see ya on the way, reservation for 6. What a play.
Absolutely. The blocking on that, too. He really only had one guy to beat along the sideline and a nice block to shove that person out of the way, giving him a free range to hit the end zone. And like you said, this is our first. We got there.
Offensive touchdown. And yeah, Caitlin, the blocking was so fantastic. Like you said, he really only had a single man to beat, but credit to him, he did what he had to do to get by that defender, and Team Black takes a 14-7 lead, and if their defense can hold, they will have all that momentum heading into halftime.
I mean, that's so exciting. Also, to just finally see one of your plays do what it's meant to do, and even getting that extra yardage to get to that end zone too. But it's the fact that you finally run something and your team is actually able to complete it. It's just nice to see that we finally have one of those.
100%. So Team Black up 14-7 after a phenomenal Jorge Luis Coror Reyes run. And let's see what Team Red will answer with. And remember, Team Red, they've got a great dual threat quarterback in there with Adrian Galloway. We've seen the run. I'd like to see a little bit more from the pass side of things. And with 2 minutes left in our first half of football action, now would be a great time to get that popping. And he's got, it looks like number 12, Reese. I'm gonna find out. I don't think that's Reese Alotu. No, that is number.
I think it's
22. Yes, Dante Galvin. Sorry, folks. The angle we're at, the numbers are a little inscrutable sometimes from this vantage point. But yeah, 22, Dante Galvin, Adrian Galloway. That is who we've got as our quarterback and tailback combo. But I believe, yes, we've got one more timeout taken here in the second quarter of football action.
Do I have to read another one?
Well,
You should read one.
yeah, I was going to say.
Here, pick a pink one.
Pick a pink one?
On this front page.
You know what, we were talking about some of the tents earlier. Let's talk about Impact Canopy. If you're running a football event, tournament, or camp anywhere in Ontario, Impact Canopy has the signage tools to make it look professional. Custom canopies, banners, and branded print products built for sport. And hey, Football Ontario members save 30% on select products. Visit impactcanopy.com to get started. So we're seeing a lot of great tents here, and you can thank Impact Canopy, whether it's the Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, or, hey, possibly even some of these great Queens tents.
And I just wanted to hear your broadcast voice. That's why I wanted to have you read it. I wanted to hear what that deep-cut broadcast voice was. Wow.
Adrian Galloway, the kid has got a cannon. And, you know, Caitlin, a lot of years of practice for our local listeners, or local viewers, rather. A lot of them are familiar with my work here with CFRC. So thank you to the diehards for always tuning in. But for our broader audience, we hope you've been enjoying this U14 broadcast, Red Black weekend. What a fantastic day for football
action. Yeah, this is a good one.
Holy moly.
Glad that we're up here in the media booth, too, because I see a lot of people huddled in their still a little bit of winter wear down in the actual seats. So, but I know that it can get hot if you're on the media side.
Definitely. What a throw from Galloway. Can he connect?
Oh, no.
Just off the fingertips. But I got to tell you, I really like what I'm seeing from number 1 in red. We've seen the running ability. We wanted to see the pass. Well, he just showed us 2 absolute cannon shots. Unfortunately, both incomplete, and that brings up a 3rd and long.
No, those are good plays. I still think they're good plays, even if they are incompletions. But the fingers were there, so you know that the pass was still good. He was able to get his fingertips on it. It's just about being able to either extend a little bit further and bring that back in, or just run a little bit faster too, because, again, you want to make sure that you're not stopping at any certain point. You just want to keep running through it. If the pass is there, it'll be there when you get there.
And it's unfortunate. I think it may have been a little bit of the sun again, because he turned and you could kind
did.
of see a little bit of a wince as he tried to haul
Immediately,
it
as soon as he turned, I think he was like, oh my God.
in. Poor kid.
No, and there's really no clouds right now, and I do know that clouds are supposed to be coming in this afternoon, but right now, if you look up, there's only a couple of clouds in the sky, so it is extremely bright.
And I want to just encourage folks, if you've never been to Richardson Stadium for a game, especially on a sunny day like this, the most beautiful stadium in Canada. And we're going to get a fake punt on 3rd and long, and that is Tameron Wallace. A great idea, but he is stopped short. But I like the play call, and
I do like the play call, too.
like what I'm seeing for number 21, Tameron Wallace here today.
Absolutely. And again, like we said in the beginning, why not try some stuff, you know? This is low impact play in the sense where it doesn't necessarily count towards anything on your stat sheets. This is just fun to see some of the best players at this age level come together. So why would you not try some of those trick plays? And even that forces the defense to be able to read some of that type of stuff on their own times. They've now seen a fake play or, you know, something like that to bamboozle in a sense. And now it's a good opportunity for them to be able to read it.
That's a great point, Caitlin. It's something I hadn't really considered. And something else that I think is important is the development of the coaches running and installing those plays. We do get a handoff. We do also get a flag. But it's like this is a great learning opportunity for a lot of these coaches as well. And, yeah, getting a chance to run some of your install gimmicky trick play stuff is great reps for them, too.
Absolutely.
And I think if you're able to teach, you know, these U14 kids how to run this, it's something that definitely translates to that university level. Because, you know, at 14, you're not really great at listening yet. You know? So for those coaches, they got their work cut out for them. But if they succeed in that, you know, it's just more power to them.
Yeah, some of the points we were saying last night, too, is what coaches are looking for in players, to be able to give some straightforward feedback, plays, thoughts, feelings, and have those players absorb them and take them properly. That's what you're looking for, too, is just a team player who's able to swallow those fundamentals and execute them properly.
100%. And we're going to get another handoff on that little slot sweep. It's Jorge Luis Corrales again. And he does bobble the ball a bit, but he maintains possession. And I got to say, great kid to watch. Fun name to say. Sometimes in broadcasting, you just get the perfect mesh of player and name. And this one has been a blast. And we're going to get another 3rd and short with a minute and a half to play here in our first half of U14 football action.
Oh, we were talking about names before the game, too. I just remembered the name I forgot to tell you that I was trying to Papa Spirnopoulos was one of the names I had to say for hockey broadcasts.
That's a good one.
And saying that name fast. Well, he only touches the puck for about 2 seconds.
By the time he's gone.
Oh,
There
nice
we
pass.
go. Beautiful. Number 23, Black. That is Asher Bradley breaking down and laying the boom. Physical run on a swing pass from Asher Bradley.
My goodness.
And we're going to hope that young man is
He is feeling it right now. Holy, was that a big hit.
clean, and we want to stress that. That's a football play, and that's unfortunately what happens sometimes.
A
So
loss of breath.
we're hoping exactly. It's just maybe the wind getting knocked
Oh my
out.
gosh, yeah. Well, when you're turned in one direction and not going full speed, getting hit by a guy who just built up speed for about 10 yards, it's you're gonna get hit pretty hard.
It's a risk that comes with football. You know, that level of contact, and as you mentioned, momentum versus somebody that's running but not at the same pace and not in the same direction.
And you're running sideways and backwards and not necessarily that north-south forward momentum. So even though you're moving, you're not moving at the same pace.
Yeah, so we're going to hope that young man is A-OK, being tended to by some of the best athletic training staff you're going to find anywhere. And ultimately, for as much as today is about development, the big key thing is safety. We want to make sure all the players are feeling well mentally, physically, emotionally, and that young man is making his way off the field under his own power. So give him a quick little round of applause here. Great to see. And we will be back to football action shortly, and we're going to get a sub coming in for Red. That's number 12, Reese Olotu, who will be in as a defensive back substitute. That's Thomas Little, who's shaken up on the play. But once again, thankfully, looks like it's maybe just a bit of a bruise or got a little bit banged up. Doesn't appear to be anything too serious.
No, and it's scary getting the wind knocked out of you, especially if that hasn't necessarily happened to you before. The first time that happens, not saying it is his first time, but I know that feeling of losing your breath and you're wondering, oh my gosh, am I about to see the light in some capacity? No, everybody's okay.
Yeah, it's a scary thing at first, but yeah, and you can see he's just doing some gentle twists, like lower body, likely the side, and with how that impact was taken, understandably so. That's a tough young man there.
Yeah.
So here we go, 1st and 10 inside the Team Red 20-yard line.
QB's looking for somebody.
Beaudry looking for his receiver.
Ooh.
Great pass and catch there, Caitlin. But we do have a flag down.
Man, I missed the flag, but yeah, you could see him reading that ball with his eyes. He went cut a little bit inside, realizing the pass was a little bit further out, moved properly, and able to get that while he had pressure on him as well.
And credit to Beaudry, that kind of throw, one of those out routes towards the sideline, that's a tough thing to make at this age especially, and he put the ball exactly where it needed to be. Unfortunately, a penalty is going to undo that great momentum, but that's a great pass and catch there from the quarterback and the wide receiver on a pretty advanced route for this age.
Absolutely, and this is the direction that you're going with the quarterback now looking into the sun, and your receiver is able to get a little bit of shade when they turn around. So this is actually quite interesting to see the opposite ends of things. And again, we had a completion there because the receiver didn't have to look into the sun.
And gently into the wind as well, so credit to Beaudry for putting enough on that to get it where it needed to be. Handoff to Asher Bradley, and that is not going to get them very much, so we will have a 2nd and 13 coming up for Team Black, already in the lead here, 14-7, thanks to a special teams touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Perhaps we'll see Beaudry add a passing touchdown to that list as well. But he's got his work cut out for him, certainly with less than a minute to play here in the first half.
Yeah, no stoppage of time, running down, so clicking to that 40-second mark. Then interested to see what the second half of action looks like here.
As am I. They'll be a little more comfortable. They'll be a little more used to what the defense is throwing at them. So we may see an uptick in offense as we get another handoff to Luis Coror Reyes. JLCR. Jorge Luis Coror Reyes scores for the second time today.
Game of his life.
And they love running him out of the slot as well. He's not lining up as the tailback. They are bringing him in motion, so he's got a bit of speed with him when he corrals that ball, but it's his ability to make the first cut and get north-south that has resulted in that touchdown there. Fantastic job by number 29.
Yeah, and he's able to break through that initial contact because there's usually somebody there trying to take him down, and then he breaks through, and then that's when he has that nice rush to the end zone.
And he's got 2 in the first half, and we'll see if number 29 can add a few more to his total in the second. We've got 24.3 on the clock, and we've got a 2-score lead for Team Black. Team Red facing down the barrel of a multi-score deficit, but we've seen some great things from Team Red. They just need a little bit more polishing and fine-tuning on the offensive side of things.
Yeah, and Team Red had a very good first quarter, so I'm not worried about anything when it comes to them at all. I feel like they'll end up breaking out, hopefully in the second half after being able to reconvene a little bit as a group, too, because sometimes you get a little discouraged, especially at this age group, if your opponent starts to climb up a little bit. I feel like they just need that halftime to kind of reset and figure out where they're going with things.
Absolutely, and hey, even though there's only 24 seconds left, we've seen Adrian Galloway's arm talent. It's very possible that he might be able to get something going for them here with what is probably the final possession for Team Red this half. We will get a little play-action rollout. Once again, a beautiful throw from Galloway, just incomplete, but holy moly, Caitlin, did you see the RPMs on that?
He can throw that. But we had 81, 9, and 80 all lined up kind of in a diagonal, wondering which one of them was going to get the ball thrown to. So the arm is there. It's the accuracy of figuring out which one we're going for. Because, yeah, all 3 of those players turned their head to quarterback, looking to ask for the ball.
And I will tell you, I was watching a bit of their practice last night, and that was a play they were having trouble with. And you can kind of see why. It's tricky when you're operating in that space, and it was a great diving effort from Landon Watt to try and haul it in. Low snap, corralled by Galloway, rolling left again. Another beautiful pass, nearly caught, nearly picked off. A 50-50 ball between Caden Curtis in red and Delano Moniz in black. Ultimately ends up in an incompletion, and we're going to get a punt with 12 and a half seconds on the clock.
Yeah, this is an opportunity, too, you get kind of one play to run it back if you want to. We could add more points to the other side of the board.
Very, very true, especially with the level of special team scoring we've seen so far. We could see Team Black, if they play this right, possibly put more points on the board before heading into the half, which 3 scores at halftime is a hard, hard thing to overcome.
It is.
So here we go. We're going to get a punt from number 7, Gavin Roberts, quarterback / punter, which is quite common at this age range. That's a better punt from Gavin Roberts, caught by number 24, Mason David. Mason David is going to be tackled up with less than 1 second on the clock, but they may just take us into the half. I think that's what the officials are signaling for. We're going to find out here momentarily. Yep, and that will indeed end our first half of football action, folks.
Not too shabby, I would say. We have 21-7 to end this first half, and I feel like we can only expect more coming into the second half here. So we'll take a little bit of a break. You guys can go get some snacks, your morning coffee, refresh, or whatever you got to do. I know I'm going to finish mine here. So we will be back in about 10 minutes. Caitlin Poppersnick, Jesse Bell will entertain you in a bit.
Area 51 Sports is here for you. All the top quality equipment you'll need to succeed on and off the field. All to make sure you're prepared for game day. Area 51 Sports, the sports industry's best kept secret. Visit area51sports.ca today.
Being an athlete takes strength on and off the field. Football Ontario and CMHA Ontario's Talk Today program are working together to make football communities across Ontario psychologically safer spaces for athletes, coaches, and family. Mental health matters in sports. Learn more at talktoday.ca. That's a great way to intro us into the second half of action here. Mental health does matter, and it matters in locker rooms across Canada. So a great partner here. It's Caitlin Poppersnick alongside Jesse Bell for some second half actions for this U14 Red-Black game in our All-Star weekend. Jesse, looking forward to the second half, are we?
As am I. And Caitlin, I think it's a great point as well, just building on CMHA as a sponsor. Important in locker rooms and especially important at this age range.
100%.
There's a lot of resources out there that are available for young people if you are going through tough times, including, of course, many things that are made possible through CMHA. So for our younger folks that are listening, it's okay to discuss that mental health, especially in a professional, safe setting.
Well, and it shapes, the way that these players are going to be working through their high school, university, and potentially further careers. So why not start talking about it at a young age? And this is a good weekend to do it.
Absolutely. So we have got a pass play here on 1st and 10 and a beautiful ball.
So close.
Just fingertips away. And that is Croy Holloway, number 7 for Team Black. And Caitlin, what an arm on Croy Holloway.
What an arm. What a diving almost catch that was. The commitment to the play, I think, was really awesome on that one as well. To know that you're not quite there, but you're going to dive, you're going to try for it. And I feel like even diving is a scary thing sometimes. So being able to at least get your arm out, it's a nice start.
And I'm overall quite impressed with some of the mechanics and the RPMs, the speed put on some of these balls. Like, you don't see that. I mean, even last night with the OSFL game, we didn't see quite that level of quarterback
Not
polish.
a whole lot. And so, yeah, the horsepower.
Yeah.
we got that from our quarterbacks here.
100%. It is quite an impressive aerial onslaught. Not a lot of completions yet, but that's going to change. I was going to say here, but unfortunately, the downside when you have that much horsepower on a pass is sometimes it goes a little out of where you need it to be.
Yeah, and I even think sometimes the receivers are a little bit surprised when something's harder than they were expecting it to be. Even sometimes you see this in professional, you see this in CFL. Sometimes it just slips through, hits the numbers, and bounces out because the pass was just so hard they weren't actually prepared to catch something of that force. So even if it's a nice crispy pass, there is still some downsides if you're a receiver.
100%. We saw Queens struggle with that, especially in 2024. Thankfully cleaned it up for a Yates Cup season in 2025. Hey, that's a better punt caught by Tamarin Wallace. Had a kickoff return touchdown earlier. He took one punt back, but that is a fantastic form tackle by number 24 in black, Mason David tackling 21, Tamarin Wallace in red. What a great tackle by Mason David there.
Yeah, stopped a player who's been extremely detrimental for Team Black to have to guard in that sense too. So it's nice to see that they're starting to read that a little bit better.
Yes, they're starting to adapt to the speed and elusiveness of Tamarin Wallace. Great job there by the special teams unit.
Yeah.
Often the forgotten about third aspect of the game, but as we've seen here today, immensely important to playing winning football.
Yeah, both teams are doing a very good job with those special players.
And here we go. This is Adrian Galloway. Liked what we saw from him in the second quarter. Still waiting on his first completion, but he won't get it there. Picked off by Team Black and a body slam tackle as well. And it looks like that was number 11, Felix Moses.
And that was a great pass to Felix,
Not who he intended to throw it to. And
no.
Adrian Galloway is yet to make a completion. Some great passes, but that one clearly got away from him a little bit.
It did, and that was a perfect throw right to Team Black. Didn't have to move for it. He was there for it. So it just is unfortunate that was the wrong team because that was a beautiful throw.
Great job, though, by Felix Moses to track that ball because it did catch a little bit of the wind. It started to drift about 3 yards more than I think it was anticipated, and he did a great job of tracking it, bringing it in, and giving Team Black the ball back after a quick 2-and-out to start things off. And We got a handoff swallowed up by those big boys in the middle. Tackle for a loss, and there were about 3 Team Red jerseys in on that one.
Loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
And that's even good to see that your defense is able to come back from something like that. You know, even though your offense and your defense don't work together, you still work together. So even if your offense doesn't necessarily complete what they're supposed to do, your defense now needs to go back in and make up for some of those losses. So you can't let it go down. You can't have that interception and then now let a touchdown come. The defense has to pick up the slack in maybe some of those spots that are lacking.
It's a symbiotic relationship. All 3 phases should feed into one another, like you've mentioned. Here we're seeing the defense trying to help out the offense. And for Team Black, let's see if that offense can build on the momentum generated by their defense passing down here. Beautiful ball over the middle, and that is caught by number 12 in black. That is, oh, sorry about that, not 12. Let's see if we can get a number. It is 12. Okay, I gotta go with my gut. I have that marked as Colby Banky, linebacker, but I think it's actually Seth Santz, the wide receiver. I think our number sheet, not exactly perfect. Either way, it's a fantastic throw from Croy Holloway. Not afraid to put the ball over the middle, which as a young quarterback is quite an imposing thing to do.
Yeah, no hands up to block that and clog that lane for him. Able to get it over, and it was a nice completion too.
100%. That is one of the better completions of the day.
I would say so as well.
Really like what I'm seeing here from Croy Holloway. High snap, corralled, hand off up the middle, and credit to Team Red. Their run defense, especially in the 3rd quarter so far, much improved compared to the first half, giving up those 2 long rushing touchdowns.
Yep. Still 21-7 though. We're getting close to that 8-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter.
And folks, we want to thank you for joining us. It was a quick halftime, only about 6 minutes or so.
Yeah, less than we thought it was going to be, but you know what? There's a lot of games here today, so I know that they have to rush a little bit more than maybe intended or what a regular football game looks like, but 2 more games this afternoon, got to fit it all in.
We are broadcasting at a breakneck pace as we've got a 2nd and 12. Holloway running for his life, harassed, harangued, and ultimately marked down. That was number 33 for Team Red as the primary harasser. That's Mason Northcott, who will be credited with the sack there. Great job on the pass rush and great restraint, not doing something stupid, not adding on to that. Really well done there by number 33, Mason Northcutt. And here we go. We've got another punt situation, and Tamarin Wallace and Dante Galvin, who have been the best yardage-generating players for Team Red, both on the field together here. Pick your poison, Caitlin. You kick to either one of them, I think you're going to be in a great deal of trouble.
Yeah, I would say so. And again, it's learning how to defend players that know how to change their pace very, very quickly when they get the ball in their hands.
And the biggest thing is, I was never a great open field tackler, but I played with a lot of them, and it's you can move your feet, you can move your head, you can fake with your shoulders, but
your hips and your belly can't lie.
They're going to be exactly where they need to be. That snap is going to result in a deep tackle for loss as Team Red is going to get some outstanding starting field position. So the defense, they bail out the offense after an interception, and we have got Gavin Robert back in as a quarterback. Gavin Roberts, who has also been handling the punting duties for Team Red, will be the signal caller here after an Adrian Galloway interception. And let's see if Roberts, who had a few short completions that resulted in long gains, can drum up something here for Team Red.
Yeah, and talking about maybe where you need to look when you're a defender at your offensive player, when you're tackling in that open zone, you want to be able to look at the player in the proper spots to know what part of their body can't lie to you, because your eyes can lie, the ball can lie, your arms and shoulders can, but that's how you learn how to tackle, like right there.
And Dante Galvin, someone very shifty, but the Team Black defense, the tacklers there, as you mentioned, they followed the only thing that can't move, the body, and took him down after a gain of, only about a yard or so. Team Black trying to hold on to a 2-score lead here as well with Team Red threatening, trying to put their first offensive points on the board.
And you'd hope that Team Red can get something. It's really good field position for them right now. 6 minutes left. You got so much time to work with, and you want to make sure that you're you're moving that ball forward still, because Team Red, you want to see them at least get one completion here today with their offense.
You'd love to see a touchdown scored by one of these offensive skill players. Dante Galvin, it's a play-action pass, and it's ultimately incomplete. That was a great fake. I thought Dante Galvin had the ball. He made his man miss as the play-action distraction, and then Gavin Roberts pulled it in. Didn't quite get enough on that throw. You could see it was a little high and a little shakier than you would normally expect from him, and ended up as an incompletion. And I think they're going to try and kick.
I think so too.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so
a deep kick.
Number 9 is Caden Curtis. He is on as the kicker here. Gavin Roberts as the holder. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a fake, because they haven't attempted anything before, but they will attempt it here, and that is going to be well short. And Team Red, they need to get a tackle up, because Team Black has got the opportunity to return this one, doubling back along the right-hand side of the field, running
Big
through
hits.
a tackle. But, hey, that's the kicker. Caden Curtis.
You like to see it.
Absolutely.
Your line from yesterday will resonate with me forever, that kickers are people too.
I always, anytime I see a kicker make a tackle, admittedly wide receiver, so he's probably a bit more used to the physical side of things.
Still, being able to go from kicking mentality to, oh my gosh, I now have to defend, you got to switch something in your brain.
And credit to him, because he missed the kick, but I like that he showed, as you mentioned, that he flipped that switch. He showed the mental fortitude to make that tackle.
Yeah, because that wasn't a lot of yards to be able to switch it. It's not like that was back in their 10-yard, 20-yard, he's back deep field type of thing. That was only a couple of yards for him to be able to switch that brain mentality of, okay, I missed, let's play.
Exactly, and credit to the young man for that. That's a high character play. Handoff here. This is Asher Bradley up the middle, running through tackles, looking like a formidable number 28 for the Queens Gales, Ethan Dahl, who is that physical, hard-nosed, downhill style of running. Asher Bradley doing his best Ethan Dahl impression there. What a run on first down.
Yeah, big-bodied all the way through, broken tackles. That's what you're looking for in a player, and that's something that these coaches are going to be like, okay, I know I can trust you with the ball. You've now proven that if we give you the ball, you can do something with it. We don't have to worry that if we call a play with you in it that you're going to do anything but the right thing.
And not just generating yardage, but good ball security as well.
Absolutely.
You'd love to see that from a running back at this level. We're going to get a pass here from Croy Holloway, rolling over the middle. Great pass.
Oh, no.
That is a tough break. That was intended for Seth Sentz, and unfortunately, like a center fielder, it just kind of goes right through your glove and bounces off your leg.
Off the knee.
Oh, that's tough. What a great pocket elusiveness from Croy Holloway.
That was a great play. It was exactly how it was supposed to be.
Just without the
completion.
The secured catch, unfortunately. I like the physical build of number 13 for Team Black, though. As a receiver, he's got a good long frame. We're going to see another Asher Bradley handoff, and Asher Bradley running with force, pushing off Tamron Wallace and continuing until about the 35-yard line, taken down by number 30, Hudson Dopf for Team Red, and Asher Bradley. Bit of a slow start, but he has really caught fire over the last 2 quarters, Caitlin. My goodness.
He has, and he also has that football build that is only going to continue to get better and better as he gets older, too. I mean, he's a very dense player, and that's not something you necessarily see at this age of players that have that bigger build already. So you can only imagine once he gets on programs, once he gets into the weight room, once he has coaches that are going to help push him, in that direction, because a lot of these players are still going to be multi-sport athletes. They haven't necessarily chosen what route they want to go through yet. So it's exciting to know that there could be a future there.
And Croy Holloway, not a great result there, but you're right, Caitlin. For a player to have that kind of level of physical development, especially like a bigger body as a running back, not very common in this age frame. He looks like the size of some of the linebackers out there.
Yes.
Not something you want to deal with as a young player, a big hard-nosed back. But Team Black's passing attack there unfortunately snuffed out by a formidable rush from Team Red, and that's going to give us a second and, about 19 or so from the Team Red 45-yard line. And that's the one thing I'd like to see. I want to see more from this Team Black passing attack because I think they have the pieces there. It's just a matter of execution. And we are going to get a pass. Screen pass to Asher Bradley. Great call here. Asher Bradley running hard. And he's going to pick up a great gain, setting up a 3rd and manageable.
What a risky pass that was right there, though. You have a bunch of people right in the way clogging that section. If they had their hands up, that might have been a little bit of a different pass, but that was a very risky pass through some defense.
Taking advantage of the Team Red aggressiveness there. That screen pass is designed to get all those guys as close to your quarterback as possible so he can just find some space, find his guy, and credit to Asher Bradley and credit to the blockers in front of him. Picking up a gain of about 12 or so, setting up a 3rd and 6 from just shy of the Team Red 30-yard line. Bit of a low snap, and Croy Holloway tried to get it himself, but he is taken down by number 95, Braden Dale. And that's a very big man and a pretty small quarterback. Scary scenes if you're number 7 on Team Black. You never want to be face-to-face with a defensive lineman in the middle of the defense.
No, and now another turnover, and you only have 1:19 left. Score is still at that 21-7 mark for Team Black.
And we will see Team Red. They desperately need some offensive momentum here, Caitlin. They cannot go into the 4th quarter trailing by 2 scores deep in their own territory. They've got to get something going here.
Yeah, and you'd hope that they would start to figure out their plays a little bit, gearing towards this 4th quarter. You know, you've fixed your kinks a little bit from the first. You now know each other a little bit better, too, in that playing styles.
Beautiful!
Oh, no!
A beautiful pass dropped by Griffin Scott. That is such a tough break. If he was able to secure that one, Caitlin, he had a direct expressway to the end zone, and it's been tough. I think the throws have been there, but both teams, the wide receiving cores, have struggled with the execution, completing those catches today.
Sometimes you're just too open.
Yeah, sometimes
you're just too open. And he was, quite frankly,
wide
extremely open. The field was his oyster if he got that. He was ahead of any defender.
You get a little too excited sometimes when you're and it's just a concentration issue now. Another incompletion. And it's true, Caitlin, though. Sometimes you are so open that you think about running before you think about catching.
Yeah, your eyes leave the ball before the ball gets into your pocket, and as soon as your head turns, you forget to actually catch the ball first. So now we're getting another turnover.
I love what I'm seeing here from this official. So he's chatting with Griffin Scott, who's quite frustrated after a couple of missed plays there. And I love what that official is doing, just talking to the kid, encouraging him. You love to see that. That's fantastic work there from this officiating crew. That gets me really, really fired up. I love to see that kind of mentorship on the field level.
Absolutely, and that's what we talked about yesterday, too, that these refs are here for more than just reffing purposes. Oh, what a hit.
That's Landon Watt again.
Nice takedown.
And I love that he saw the ball bounce into the returner, so no yards wasn't a concern, so he just beelined and secured a great tackle. But yeah, it's the development. The officials are playing an integral role.
Absolutely. Another thing we mentioned last night too is the fact that these refs know more than anybody that's going to be here. You know, like these refs are here and they understand that these are new players. These aren't professionals to the point where you don't need to help coach them through stuff anymore. These are players that are still learning stuff, that are, don't know the niche parts of the game yet. So the refs can help assist them and move them forward. And I mean, they're also an integral part of retention when it comes to sports too, because if you have one bad experience with maybe a ref or on the field, you might not want to come back next year.
It's a great point. We're going to get a carry here from Croy Holloway. Getting loose and taken down. Great tackle by number 2 in red. That's Dominic Duval with a good open field tackle. And Caitlin, that brings us, believe it or not, to the end of our 3rd quarter.
That was a speedy one.
Absolutely. Very little penalty yardage. Just a straightforward quarter of football action.
Yeah, so now we get into our last quarter. No points left in that 3rd. So we are still stuck at that 21-7 mark. But again, you have the pink paper right now, my friend.
you covered the Buffalo Bills earlier, so I think I'm going to send a shout-out to our sponsors, our friends, the Detroit Lions. A big thank you to the Detroit Lions, a proud partner of Football Ontario, and a franchise committed to growing flag football across Ontario and beyond. Check out the 2026 Lions Circuit at playflagontario.ca. And we talked about Buffalo and their team, but shout out to Coach Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. A lot of outstanding development going on in Detroit, and that is the name of the game.
Massive teddy bear that man is. So
I do love Dan Campbell. We got a quick pass from Croy Holloway, complete down the sideline. Oh my goodness gracious! Angry run there from number 85. That is, or sorry, I'm going to get a number on that. That is, I believe, 82. Caleb St. Amant from Team Black. And my goodness, did you see how he dropped the shoulder?
Massive hit.
And it
massive.
wasn't just that he dropped the shoulder. He also, you could see him coil and drive through with his legs. That is
that's a big play.
Physical run from wide receivers. Often get tagged as being, finesse prima donna guys, but that was a hard-nosed north-south run there from Caleb St. Amant. 1st and 10, Croy Holloway over the middle, complete, and then a great tackle from Tamron Wallace. But that was a fantastic throw and catch for Team Black.
That was, and he had a lot of time to actually make that throw. There wasn't a whole lot of pressure on him when he was in the pocket. He had some time to actually get that nice throw, find his receiver, and hit it right in the hand. So that's nice to see a completion. It's also nice to see the quarterback have time to make a good throw.
And I'm glad you brought up the time. That's a credit to the offensive line. Maintaining the pocket especially, and we do have a timeout here, but yeah, maintaining a pocket, especially for a quarterback that's a little on the shorter side, that is so integral.
You want to make sure that he has time to see the field properly. So I will say, you were just talking about flag football and how big that's getting, and obviously Queens has a massive flag football type of program, but something exciting for women this weekend. Today we actually have women over on Miklas Field, which is adjacent to Richardson Stadium, and they're doing tackle football today, which is extremely, extremely exciting for the growth of women when it comes to football. So they'll be practicing all day, but then you have some scrimmages later on in the afternoon. So a 3 p.m. scrimmage for the U18 group, and then a 4 p.m. scrimmage for the U16 group. So a really good day for football across the board, whether you're a young youth male player or a female player, putting on pads for the first time. Because flag football, you don't wear pads, you get to kind of have that swagger, you get to wear your sunglasses and work with that, but being able to actually put on a helmet and pads, I feel like is a big segue for women.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's exciting, and you were talking about the Queens flag football teams yesterday and how amazing their season's going too. So anything on that point? I know that they just won, and you're going to, you were saying Regina is the next stop.
So they've got nationals. I believe it's the 5v5 team that went to nationals. And it's just such an incredible story of how the team has developed from the powder puff days, which is not a designation that I'm a personal fan of, to now I think a much more respected both locally and now nationally women's football program, as we've got a stoppage on first down. That is a big tackle for loss, taking down Asher Bradley. But yeah, it's great to see how the game has grown and how it's perceived. And women's tackle football is the next step.
100%.
And bringing it in line.
I mean, Caitlin Clark, obviously a very large WNBA personnel right now, but even she said if flag football was a thing when she was in school, she would have picked that up maybe instead or as well of. And I know for myself, I 100% would have loved to play flag football in that realm too. We would play it at a recess or something, and I would always be like, wow, this is something that's really fun. I wish they would do something with it, and now they are. So that's extremely exciting.
Croy Holloway with a screen pass to Braden Asher. Braden Asher running hard and into the end zone. 6 more points for Team Black as Braden Asher takes a quick little halfback dump-off screen pass all the way. And, Kaylin, I was pretty lucky. When I started playing football, I actually had two girls on the team that I played, and this was full contact house league football.
Nice.
So I've grown up with a respect for what our ladies can do on a football field, and it's really cool to see
Without a doubt.
the women's game starting to get more recognition, and hopefully soon enough, knock on wood, the same kind of funding that the male games
It
get.
would be exciting for that to happen too, because you always see the women wanting to play on the men's team, but there's a blocked
Yep.
kick. I don't think that was going to go in regardless,
No,
but
a little low.
yeah, you get the women that want to play on the men's teams, and they always end up in those kicker positions. They don't actually end up on any rotation other than maybe a special teams kicker. So it's cool to actually have people in other positions too. So
Absolutely. And for the folks watching at home, it's 27 to 7.
yes, they added it to the.
Yeah, Team Black. Team Red still looking for their first offensive touchdown, and we're hoping we're going to get a chance to see that. The last drive ended after a couple incompletions, and Team Red back in the swing of things, and I believe that's Adrian Galloway back in at quarterback. And credit to Team Black, they came ready to play today as they have a commanding 20-point lead over Team Red. It is, as the scoreboard here is
44.
52, it climbs. But it is a 27-7 scoreline. Team Red back on offense here. Adrian Galloway in at quarterback, but I believe this is an offsides or a procedure, so that should be a 5-yard penalty on the offense. But yeah, Team Red, we're hoping. We'd love to see one of those great offensive skill players break through and pick up some points on their own here.
Yeah, you don't expect anybody to come back necessarily in this type of situation, but you do hope for maybe a couple extra opportunities, getting close enough too that you can send your kicker out maybe and get even just a couple extra points. But you don't necessarily expect, the biggest comeback in All-Star Weekend history right now.
And I know he's on the sideline now, but I'd love to see Griffin Scott back out there. He's had a tough couple of near calls for catches, and it would be great to see him get one for his confidence heading into the season. There we go, Adrian Galloway, complete to number 13.
Fumble.
And what a great play by Team Black to strip that ball. That was Cameron Stevens with a great catch and run, and thankfully they do recover their own fumble, it looks like, so we will get more offensive work from Team Red, but Team Black, my goodness, a dominant effort in all three phases here today with a commanding 27-7 lead.
Yeah, and they've meshed pretty well, I think, just as a group too, which is a big thing because these are the best of everywhere. These aren't teams that have played together before, so the faster that you can get together, the better you're going to be, but Team Black, I think, has done a better job of that altogether, of kind of getting in each other's brains.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. They really do seem to be a more, coherent or symbiotic unit.
Yeah.
I think that's a very astute observation, and it's making all the difference here.
Astute.
Galloway over to Galvin, but there is a
Down
flag
the play.
down.
Oh, and we got a Seagull joining us.
Oh, I wonder what he's going after.
Oh, clearly not anything good because he's leaving us pretty quickly.
It is always nice to get wildlife down at a field level.
Yeah, don't have to pay for tickets.
No, they are much like us. They're freeloading here today.
Oh, yeah.
We will, it looks like, probably get that penalty declined based on the down and distance markers. But, of course, Team Red is just going to go for it because why not at this point? Trailing 27-7, and we're up here. We're obviously impartial. We don't have stakes, but we just want to see some of these young offensive players who haven't quite broken through yet. We'd love to see something here to give them some
absolutely.
confidence.
I think when you come in as media personnel or anything, even just maybe somebody coming to watch because they heard about this, you just want good games. You want to see the success of the players, and that's exactly what we want watching the next two games and the rest of this one today.
And I see Landon Watt out there. I've loved his effort here today. I'd like to see if we can get something schemed up for Landon Watt. But Adrian Galloway is going to be taken down, and that will be a turnover on downs. So Team Black back on the attack here as Team Red a little bit more. You got to coach them up a bit more, as there is some visible frustration from some of those players down there. And I get it, especially at age 14.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you learn as you get older of how to bring yourself and reel yourself back in. But the only thing about the difficulties of that here is that you don't get as many opportunities as you would in a regular game. So it's like, you know that once you're off, you might not be able to come back on because you're rotating, or you only have a few more plays to make that play. Whereas, you know, if it's your regular season, you're going to get another opportunity next week to do it. You're going to be able to go into practice, talk to your coaches. But this is kind of a one-and-done situation, seeing as it's just an all-star weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got Xavier Beaudry in at quarterback with a name we've called quite a bit, Asher Bradley. Number 23 is his tailback. We do have a flag down, and it looks like it is either an offsides or a procedure on the offense. So it'll be first and 15 from the Team Red 35-yard line. And running has been the name of the game so far. That has been easily the most successful thing that we've seen here today from either offense. And once again, at that age range, that's pretty par for the course. A lot of junior football, as we talked about yesterday on the broadcast, tends to be based more around running the football because it's simpler to scheme up. But, not a pretty snap there, but Asher Bradley scoops that up, and he always got to play to the whistle. I think everybody was, what in the world? Well, like I said, play to the whistle. Asher Bradley emerges out of a crowd of red and black jerseys and puts 6 more points on the board in an absolutely bizarre scrum of a scoring play to make it 33-7.
Yeah, you thought that play was over, and you're saying play to the whistle, and I'm going, okay, it's over. Yeah. I didn't hear a whistle, but your brain just kind of shuts off. He was in that swarm of players for long enough that you thought he would have been taken down of some kind. Gonna
have to watch the replay later
I
to
don't understand.
It reminds me, on this field at Homecoming 2025, Cedric Smith, fantastic receiver for Queens, cut the ball within about 5 Windsor Lancers, and I thought for sure, he's going to get creamed. Mm-hmm. No, he managed to sneak out and score the best touchdown of the season for the Gales. Similar energy there, where it's just one skill player amongst, oh my goodness, a whole collection, a coterie of tacklers, and he somehow manages to weave through and make it happen. But the kick, unfortunately, did not happen. So it's still a 33-7 score line with Team Red taking back over on offense. And let's see, we've got Griffin Scott back out there. I'd love for the hometown kid to get a catch here, especially after some of the struggles we saw earlier. Kingston Grenadier with the gold helmet and the big prominent G on the side. And they've been a fantastic program over the last couple of years, especially one of the strongest in Ontario.
Yeah, the Grenadiers play a big factor in the growth of youth football here in Kingston, and I feel like a lot of the players, the development is huge throughout those programs. Even if I'm driving past Richardson late at night, they're out there practicing. It's like 10 o'clock and they're out on the field.
100%. It's been a staple since my time in high school. The 2009 season was the first season they brought it back for, I believe, the junior side of things. And it's come a long way since then. Adrian Galloway, beautiful pass. That is caught. And I believe that's Cameron Stevens, who was trying to fight through a collection of black jerseys. But great pass and catch there from number 1, Adrian Galloway, to number 13, Cameron Stevens. That's
that was
what we're talking
beautiful, beautiful throw.
We do have a player from Team Black down, a little shaken up there. Once again, we're hoping that's nothing too serious.
No, and I think we can cut to break just to let the athletic therapist figure out what's going on right now, and we can be back in a little bit as they let him lie down just for a second.
Yeah.
Area 51 Sports is here for you. All the top quality equipment you'll need to succeed on and off the field. All to make sure you're prepared for game day. Area 51 Sports, the sports industry's best kept secret. Visit area51sports.ca today.
$107.50.
All right, we are
You can pick up
back
your prize
here.
right in front of Area
We
51.
have a player getting off on their own,
Yep.
at least walking, suspecting something upper body, shoulder, elbow, arm range, but you know what?
That's number 95, Ethan Eniswo, who is shook up. But yeah, I think your initial assessment of upper body, like shoulder, is probably an apt one, Caitlin, based on how he's holding his arm going to the sideline. We're hoping that is nothing serious. Team Red will have a 1st and 10 from the Team Black 50-yard line. And this will be Adrian
Snap is
Galloway
good.
in at quarterback,
He's under pressure,
stepping up in the
scrambles.
pocket, trying to
Looking for
direct
somebody.
traffic. He's looking
Launches it.
for
Got a receiver.
Cameron Stevens. What a grab by
Number 13,
Cameron
heck of a catch.
Stevens.
Great throw, too.
Twisting, turning with
Puts the
no
right half
regard
of the
for
position.
human
Up and
life.
down
A
to about
great grab by Cameron.
18-yard
Looking
line.
like another number 13 here, Logan Walton. What a concentration catch. He's not the biggest player on
No.
the field,
Great
but he
catch
might
there
be
by
the
number
most
13,
skilled with a play like that.
He's feeling like the biggest player on the field right now.
True, he must feel like he is 10 feet tall
Wow.
after that
10.
highlight reel
A
grab.
throw and a catch.
Beautiful. And we've seen Galloway and Stevens. They have connected a number of times, and it looks like, based on the helmet, they may even possibly be from a similar youth development program, so they may have that connection kind of already built in. But we have got a 1st and 10, and for the first time inside the Team Black 20-yard line, play action pass, rolling right. Galloway,
Oh, take it.
there
you go.
It's a hold, unfortunately.
He got it. He's at the 5. He's at the 3.
I believe that is coming
Flag
back.
on the
Galloway
play.
would have gotten down to the 1-inch line, but it is a hold on Team Red, so that hard work, unfortunately, is for naught.
Wow.
Yeah, tough to see.
That is tough to see, especially for a quarterback that just made a throw like that too, and being able to take it and do that stuff himself.
Going against the offense there.
They are going to be bounced back to just shy
Back 10.
of the 27-yard line. So they got a long way to go and a short time to get
First
there
and 20.
if they want to put some offensive points on the board here. With the spot, it looks like it will be, yes, the 27 exactly. And it'll be a 1st and 20, so my goodness. I'm guessing more. It wouldn't surprise me to see a run here to try and cut down that distance a bit, but I think the next 2 downs are going to be pretty pass heavy based on what we've been seeing.
ball
Fumbled
was
snap,
tapped on the line. QB's got
and
it,
Galloway is going to
though.
be
Ball
sacked.
is dead.
Mental mistakes, Caitlin. They're killer at this
A
point
little
in the
bit.
game. Dang.
That's a way to take the wind out of your sail.
2nd and 20.
And that's going to happen in football in general, but especially with these young players where you get so hyped up after making an incredible big play that,
Bring it back down.
yep, you got to stay steady, as Coach Snyder will inevitably say a little bit later today when he joins us on the broadcast. That is a shame. After watching such an awesome throw and catch, they are now backed up 2nd and 23 from the Team Black 30-yard line with about 3.5 minutes to play here in our 4th and final quarter of U14 football action. Galloway
Snap is good. QB's under pressure. Manages to
throws
get
this
it
one
off.
up.
How
Caught
did
by
he-
Cameron Stevens
Again.
again. Number 13.
Oh, big hit, big hit, big hit.
Gracious.
Great catch.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I think, yeah,
Unnecessary hit, I think.
it was clean, but it was very, very hard. It was
Definitely clean, but you can tell he's going down at that point. You already had him with that momentum to hit the ground, but again, like you said, he's getting up on his own.
And he's off.
Wind taken out of him definitely after that big catch, but you get hit by a big body, especially when you're not necessarily ready for it. And
back down.
oh, he's back down.
Yeah, he popped up, but I could tell he was on shaky legs. And that's the other risk. When you're a smaller framed receiver, you're going to absorb contact a lot harder than, players with longer levers or more muscle mass on the frame.
Yeah.
It lets you be speedy and quick, but that's the trade-off. Is you can take quite a walloping, and we're hoping, obviously, no ill intent and no flag issue, clean hit,
No.
but a very, very hard hit. And we're hoping Cameron Stevens is going to
Yeah.
be A-okay.
Yes. No wrap on it. It definitely was just a hit type of play. But another point when it comes to this is he's up. The size differences in these players are massive at this age. You're getting guys that have grown into the body of a 20-year-old already, and you have guys that might not have hit their spurt yet. So you're getting a collaboration of people of all different shapes and sizes in that U14 range. So a player wobbling off.
Yeah, and I believe it was number 5, Enzo Silveira Black, who tried to shake his hand afterwards, but obviously Cameron Stevens is
No, he's focused on his own.
Totally understandable, but I appreciate the attempt at that sportsmanship and checking in on the player after the fact.
Nice, and you don't want to hear the word concussion, but
yeah,
the way he's wobbling off, I don't feel good about that.
No, unfortunately, Caitlin, I think that's a pretty apt possibility. We're going to hope that young Cameron Stevens is A-okay, but he's definitely shaken up for the time being. 3rd down and 9 to go. Adrian Galloway under pressure, almost picked off again. That will be a turnover on downs. Team Black will get the ball back after the best scoring drive we had seen from Team Red, led largely by Cameron Stevens, who took one heck of a hit along the way.
Yeah, 2 injuries close to the end of this game. That's not really what you want to see, especially when the score is so taken in one direction. 33-7 right now. Obviously, you don't want to end the game early, but at this point, it's like you don't want to see anybody else get hurt, especially for a game that isn't do or die.
No, at this point, we just want the clock to run. We want everybody to get home safely.
Yes.
We want to see good, high-quality football action, but the safety of the athlete is paramount, and we are going to get a fumble, and good job by the officials blowing that one dead there. So Team Red will get a sack on Team Black, taking them back about 4 yards or so. So we've got a 2nd and 14 coming up from the Team Black 11-yard line. And just 2.5 minutes on the clock here. Of course, folks, stay tuned, though, because we have got a lot of football action still yet to come today, including the U16 game and the U18 game, both of which will be broadcast, with a special guest present.
Yes, a whole afternoon of football. And the sky is still blue as there's another loose ball there. Some clouds coming in.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit, but we got some beautiful white clouds, though, rolling in. Hopefully it'll cover up a little bit of the sun, make the skill position players' lives a bit easier.
Yes.
Trying to corral these footballs. But we are likely going to see, I think, a safety surrendered here by Team Black, given their field position right from the 2-yard line. With 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining.
Third and 23.
And a little warmer today than last night, which is also appreciated.
Yes, last night I had to have the hottest shower ever because I didn't realize how cold I was when I got home, and I'm like, hey, my fingers aren't actually working properly right now.
Yeah, I don't just wear the suit for appearances. It's
It's
nice
warm.
having some extra layers. Oh, they are going to punt it.
High and short.
Okay.
And bounces out.
Not the decision I was expecting, given that punt went out of bounds at the 5-yard line. I figured there would be a safety, but instead, hey, Team Red, they're going to get a 1st and goal opportunity.
They get
here.
an opportunity. Add some points to the board. Let's make this next minute 44 entertaining.
Absolutely. So, Team Red, last drive came up just a bit short of where it needed to be. They're going to have a do-over here at about the spot they lost the ball at, Caitlin. So
This is a nice redo.
yeah, a reset of sorts for Team Red. Adrian Galloway still in at quarterback, had a couple of excellent completions on that last drive, and if it were not for a holding penalty, would have taken his team right down to the precipice of points on the 1-yard line. And let's see, we've got Dante Galvin. We've got a collection of receivers, including Griffin Scott in the slot, number 81, Kingston Grenadier. Fumbled again. Oh, no. And that is a great recovery from number 39 for Team Black, who I don't have
the name for, but
listed at 39 from the roster sheet, but it was a fantastic recovery by that young man all the same. Whereas
Black
that,
team takes the ball at their own 9-yard line.
maybe that was 99 actually,
1 minute
which
and
I do
35
have, which is
seconds
Chase
left in the
Croft.
game.
One of the two.
Yeah, either way, a great recovery by the defensive lineman. And unfortunately for Team Red, when it rains, it pours, even on a sunny day here at Richardson.
Yeah, quick change, quick turnover, minute 35. Clock is not running through, so it is stopped.
Yeah, once we get that whistle, then yeah, start running the clock again. Yeah, the frustration is palpable on the sidelines for Team Red, who just can't get out of their own way today, it appears. Handoff. And that is a great tackle there from the Team Red front. I believe that is, yes indeed, Everett Inksetter Martin, number 99 for Team Red. And you know what, say what you will, I think the Team Red defense has performed quite well today.
Yeah.
It's just been some execution errors on offense that have
It
happened.
has been. I don't think either defense has necessarily been doing anything wrong for either team. They've been holding their own. Defense, all in all, like you said, we've talked about this before, but the defense is easier to execute when you're in a new group. Offense is a little bit harder to execute when you're in a new group. Defense, you have your specific things that you need to get done, and it's nice to see as he walking around.
Yeah, so it looks like Cameron Stevens is doing a great deal better, folks. Walking around, looking a little bit more
Awake and
more
alert.
healthy and comfortable there, yeah. So
But
that's great to see.
I recommend not putting any equipment back on for a little bit.
No. Thankfully, we are reaching the end of that game, so that young man, number 13, very explosive player for Team Red, was shaken up, but looks to be in better spirits and better condition here as Team Black is facing a third and very long. Last time they were in this position, they punted the ball for a net gain of about 5 yards. Mind you, didn't end up costing them in the end. As we've got Galvin and Tamaron Wallace. Tamaron Wallace, the lone touchdown scorer for Team Red. And it came on the first punt return of the game, which was an explosive way to start today's slate of youth football broadcasts.
27.5 seconds left.
Yeah, I think they're just going to... I'm not sure what they're gesturing
I'm
for.
not
They need
overly-
another player.
There
Okay.
you go. I was like, they're all waving.
Yeah, and the officials had blown it to stop the clock, and they're going to blow to start it up again. I wasn't sure if it was just going to be that they're taking a knee, but I think they're just going to take another punt, maybe?
Snap is up. Kick is
Same exact play.
But with an onside man trying to recover it from within the end zone. We are seeing some new strategic positions
Yes.
here today. Some stuff I've never seen before, but Team Red ultimately will recover the ball with a no yards, which should take it even closer, half the distance to the goal. So
Let's add some more, I guess 20 seconds. It's been the longest last minute, I think, of football that we might see today.
today, yes. That I've seen,
No. Not at all.
I've been
Today, definitely, there's a chance.
the Yates Cup, that last minute with Queens in the lead, holding the football, felt like it was never going to end. So.
No, and I mean, you're not going to see a whole lot of timeouts called here right now either, trying to figure stuff out or usages of anything extremely scientific. It's just let's get her done.
Oh, a fumble Ruski. Run, big man,
Big
run!
man.
Yeah! What a touchdown from one of the big men on Team Red.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's what you like to see.
big guy touchdown for Austin Patrick, number 57. Oh, looking like a natural ball carrier.
There was no chance he was getting taken down. I'm sorry.
No, they put the loaf right in the bread basket, and he took that one in for 6. That is the kind of memory that will last a lifetime. When you're a big boy, and I was a big boy, you don't get the ball in your hands very often.
No, you got to do something with it. Luckily, he didn't have a whole long distance to run either.
No.
That was pretty streamlined.
I cannot tell you the last time I saw somebody run a guard keep. That is, I used to run the guard keep, and that was like 15 years ago. A guard keep is the offensive touchdown for Team Red. Why not? You know what?
At this point in the game,
and folks, you could tell we were excited. You know how many times you get to see an offensive lineman rumbling with the ball in his hands, especially for a touchdown? There we go. Extra point. So it's a 33-14 score line. And what a touchdown for Austin Patrick. And they're going to call the game there, which I think
that's very fair.
is a great send-off.
Absolutely. So that's going to finish our game. We have 33-14 as your final score. Team Black gets to win this one. We'll see what the next games have in store for us. See if Red for U16 can kind of make up for Red of U14 today, but we have a very fun afternoon still ahead of us. If you're wanting to stay in and support, we'll be back for a 12:30 kickoff for U16. We'll have Steve Schneider in the booth for some of it, giving some good intel. But other than that, Jesse, anything else you want to say?
It was a fun start to the weekend, or today's slate of games. But folks, trust me, you definitely want to check out the U16 and U18. That is going to be some top-tier football action.
Absolutely. So we'll be back in a little bit if you're wanting to tune in again on YouTube. That's where we'll be. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll be back shortly.